Hello YouTube, this is Asatsu5 and what you're looking at here is a informational meme about bee swarms. Now a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about swarms in regards to bees. They think any large gathering of bees is a swarm. And for example, if you kick a beehive and you get attacked by the defensive bees, I forget the proper terminology. They got bees that do different jobs, but let's just say you kick a beehive and a lot of bees come at you and start stinging you. That is technically not a swarm in beekeeping lingo, or when it regards to bees. A large attack of bees isn't necessarily a swarm. A swarm is a very specific thing where a hive splits, or the hive decides that the living environment is not conducive to a healthy colony, and the queen will leave and take either half of the bees with them, or sometimes, I guess, the whole hive or the colony with them. But usually there's a split, and the hive is getting too crowded, and there'll be some queen cells, and usually there's like 3 queen cells, and the first queen that hatches will kill the other queen cells, or that's where the eggs and stuff are at. And then they will take a portion of the hive with them to go and find a new home. And what this is called is a swarm. And usually they'll find a place in a tree, sometimes on your vehicle, sometimes on a gate, and you'll find this big old mass of bees. And generally speaking, I'm not going to say that there's instances where this isn't true, like with Africanized bees, but generally speaking, this is when the bee colony is at its most docile and safe and least aggressive, because they have no honey and they have no brood, and so they have nothing to really protect. But what they'll do is they'll hang out, in a tree, mailbox, water box, wherever they're gathering. They'll hang out there with the queen in this big mass, and they'll send out scout bees. These scout bees will find a place for the new for the colony to live at. And in this meme, it explains, don't call the police, don't call, exterminator, don't call firefighters. Just leave them alone. Don't harm the bees, don't poison them, don't kill them. You just leave them alone, and they'll leave within 24 hours, and everything's okay. And this is really important because bees are very important for the ecosystem and our food supply. And this meme is correct to say we need to save the bees and not harm them. But I disagree a little bit with this meme. I think the best thing you can do is call a beekeeper. Now, most beekeepers who have multiple hives are willing to come to your house, a lot of times free of charge, because they're getting bees out of this situation. But they'll come to your house and they will collect these bees in a nucleus. They'll put them in a box, and they'll take them to their house and introduce them to a new hive, and it's a win-win-win for everyone. It's a win for you, it's a win for the beekeeper, and it's a win for the bees. And I'll explain. First off, it's a win for the beekeeper because they get free bees. No beekeeper is going to complain about getting free bees. It's a win for the bees because the bees get a suitable home to live in, and often are looked after with certain medications, things that kill varroa mites, and different parasites and stuff like that. And these are often natural treatments. They'll be looked after during the winter and dearth time periods, so when food is scarce, they're often going to be taken care of during those hard time periods. So the bees get something, nutrients, home, a place to live. The beekeepers get bees, which means they can make bees. They can gather beeswax, gather honey, gather pollen, and continue being an asset to the environment. But you also win, because if you don't find a place for these bees to live, they often, not always, but often go in your walls. They go in your shed, they go in your attic. And if they make a home in your walls, your attic, someplace where it's hard to get to, it's not completely uncommon that you have to knock out that wall. You have to do what's called a cut or a cutout. And so if you have a lot of bees in your wall, it can be very expensive to replace that wall. So it behooves you to get a beekeeper who's willing to come to your house, collect these bees, and put them in a safe home where they won't be a bother to you. And I'll see if I can find some photos, but it's actually a really serious thing. It can actually really damage your house. And my dad's girlfriend, her childhood home, like all in their attic and stuff, they had this massive bee colony, and they were there since she was 3. Oftentimes these bee colonies are very healthy and very massive, and you know, because they're so big, they're self-sustaining, that, you know, the house is more beeswax than lumber or timber. So yes, and if you have to sell your house, well, now you're going to have to tear out a wall, your attic, and get rid of these bees, and then repair this devastation that's happened to your house in order to sell the house. Now, it is perfectly possible to live in harmony with bees living in your house. But if you're afraid of getting stung, or if you're afraid of anaphylaxis, where there's bees, there's going to be bugs that predatorize bees and want to steal honey, want to steal brood. There's possible for other things to come in and try to take out those bees, like murder hornets. But anyways, the point of this video is that if you see a swarm near your house, please call a beekeeper, because it benefits everybody involved. It benefits the beekeeper, it benefits the bees, it benefits you. So this video is quite long enough, and I'm no longer keeping bees because I determined I am not right. I'm not a good beekeeper. I like bees, I love bees, but with the job that I have, I can't give the attention to the bees that they need. So that's it. That's the video. Yes, bee swarms are not terrible. They're not a bad thing, but they do need to be addressed before they become an issue. So that's it. I'm Asatsu5, and I'm out.